In ATLAS.ti, you can annotate your data, whether your data is textual data or whether they are images or videos or audios, by using the comment feature for the quotations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open one of my textual documents. So I'm going to open Focus Group 2, which has some coding on it and some commenting on it. And as you can see, I can see in the margin where the quotations are. There are these stripes along the side of the margin. And if you notice, some of these stripes, so for example this stripe here, has, it's like the little corner in the upper right hand side is folded over. And what that indicates is that that quotation has a comment attached to it. There's more than one way to see the comment, but one way is just simply clicking on the quotation, double-clicking on it, and you can see here it's saying that Holly has brown eyes. It's commenting on the fact that when I was starting the warm-up introduction in this focus group, I asked them what kind of an avatar did they want, and it was interesting that Holly wanted an avatar with green eyes, and Holly herself has blue eyes. So it was just an explanation. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I just commented on it. And the same way here, there's another quotation here that has a comment on it, because I can see that the bar has the right-hand corner folded over. And if I double-click on that, I'm also, again, explaining, in this case, Jessica wanted a tall avatar, and I was just explaining that Jessica's actually really very tall. She's about 6 foot. So you can see here I'm using, in this instance, the comment feature to just explain information that might not be obvious from just reading the transcript. And that's one use of commenting or annotating the text. Another use is for analysis purposes. When something that someone says sort of you find interesting and sort of starts you thinking and reflecting about what this might mean. And I actually recommend that people, instead of starting with coding, starts by reading the data, immersing themselves in the data, and commenting in this way, both for explanatory purposes, to explain something that's not obvious, but also for reflective purposes, to reflect on the meaning, and that can start you thinking about how you would later on approach the coding, what's coming out of the data by commenting. So as you can see in Atlas here, that it's very easy when you're reading a text by just looking over at the margin, and you can see where there are comments. And also, you can add to any comment from the margin. So all you have to do, notice it says click to edit when I have this little box open. And so if I click in there, what happens, there's an editor opens up, and I can add more information here if I wanted to go on and explain something more. So you can always add to your comments as you're reading and reflecting on it. You can see here, if I double click on that, what I just wrote is in the comment box. The other place to see where comments are is in your quotation manager. So if I click up here where it says quotes, that's the quick way to open up your quotation manager. And because at the moment I happen to have the quotation where Jessica is talking about that her avatar would be Tara, I have that selected. You can see it's selected because it's highlighted in blue. So when I open up my quotation manager, that is the quotation that is there. And I can see in the comment box here that it's there, it is selected there. And I can see the quotation in the comment box. And in fact, where there are quotations, in front of the number of the quotation is a little tilde So that's another way to, just by eyeballing the quotation manager, to see where there are quotations that have been commented upon. But a much quicker way of doing that is to filter for just the quotations that have comments. So in the quotation manager, you can see here I'm selecting quotations. I go down to where it says filter, and I have different ways I can filter the quotations, but the one right at the bottom, it says commented. And now I just have, in my quotation manager, I'm just viewing those quotations that have been commented. And so these are quotations here from focus group 1. As I can click on each one, you can see in the comment box down here the actual comment that's linked to that quotation. And of course you can actually add as well in the comment box directly in the quotation manager if you wanted to add anything more in there. Now I'm just going to give you kind of a tip when you are commenting in this way. If you notice that some of my quotations begin with EXP, and that's just my little code for that. These are explanatory comments, and my comments that are more analytical, I start by writing the word analysis in front of them. So that allows me later on, when I want to search for all my analysis comments, for example, I can do that. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take the filter off. But the place where I can search for different types of comments is my object crawler, which I can find under Tools, Object Crawler. So what I would do is I would type what I'm searching for, which is analysis, in the comment for, if I click select objects, quotations, and just make sure it says analysis here, and click display results, and you can see here I have one analysis quotation from focus group 2 where Holly is talking, and if I double click on that, I can actually, it will open up focus group 2. There's the content of what she's saying, and here is the actual comment that I made. I mean, in this case, if we just look at this closely, you can see here that Holly found she says she found the Manchester side a bit confusing because she said that they didn't do the subject which she wanted to study, which was medicine. However, Manchester University does do medicine. And what happened, because I actually watched her doing the talk aloud when she was going through Manchester University website, what happened was that she was at a page looking for scholarships, and medicine wasn't one of the subjects that they gave extra scholarships for, and that information stuck in her head. Although earlier on she did find that Manchester University did medicine, but somehow she had forgotten that, and what had stuck in her head was the fact that they didn't offer extra scholarships in medicine. So that's why here she says that you know, the subject that she wanted to study, they didn't offer at Manchester. So that was, I thought, an interesting thing about how her memory worked while she was traversing Manchester's website. So that's an example of an analysis comment. Now, if you want to export out your comments from ATLAS.ti, the best way to do that is from the quotation manager. Put the filter on comments, commented. And then you go into output and say all quotations, and of course because it's filtered it will just be the quotations that have been filtered for, and say yes that you want to include the quotations, comments, and memos. That's something else that I'll talk about later on. You can actually also attach fuller memos to particular quotations. Say yes to that, and what I'll do is do file and run, click OK, and just call that University Websites quotes, and say yes. I already saved it, and it will open up in Word. And so now you can see here that it has the quotation, and under the quotation is the actual comment, which is here. Comment there. And then the next quotation. It's also telling you what piece of data it came from, what codes have been also coded to that, and then you've got the actual quotation with the comment under it. So I'll just close that down now. So far we were just looking at how you can comment on textual data, but you can also comment on any other type of data, on videos, on audios, on images, because where you're commenting on is the quotation. And just to show you that, I'm just going to open up an image. So this is the home page of Manchester University, which is an image. And you can see here, this quotation here has a comment attached to it, and I can see it again because the stripe here is folded over in the upper right hand side. And if I want to see the comment, I can just double click on it, and there's the comment. And what that's saying is that this particular image was the subject of a lot of discussion in Focus Group 1. What does it represent? I mean, what the image is an image of a pine tree with snow on it, and people are kind of mystified as, does this really represent Manchester? Is Manchester known for its snow? Is Manchester cold? What does it say about the university? And they basically thought it was a pretty bad image to have on the website. Yeah. And you can, with images, you can actually choose. I'm just going to be right-clicking now over the image, and where I can display my comments. You can see here I have an option to display comments, and if you notice what happened there is that the comment is actually typed over the image. So you have a choice of doing that so that you can immediately see the comments when you're viewing the image. In this case, it's actually hard to read because, as you notice, the comment is written in white text and there's some white in the background. So therefore, I'm just going to untick that to display the comments. And of course, it's just very easy to right-click, to double-click on the stripe itself, and you can see the comment. But sometimes it works, to actually see, if you have an interesting image, to actually see the comments over parts of the image overlaid on the image itself. So you do have that option. So just to summarize, you can annotate your data in ATLAS.ti by writing in the comment box for particular quotations. And whether it's text or images or video, it's actually on the quotation that you're commenting on. And there are different types of quotation comments that you can make. As I said, you can make purely explanatory comments, you can make analytical comments, And if you do use different types of comments, in order to find them later on, to retrieve, like as I did all the analysis comments, make sure that whenever you write a comment, you have a little, basically a little code in front of it. So like EXP is my code for explanatory, analysis is my code for analysis, and I can use the object crawler later on to retrieve the comments for a particular type of comment. Okay.